Okay, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before I begin with this camp session, I want to turn to the east and give all praises, honor, and glory to our power. Yahweh, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Kakudash. Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahawashi being the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. I want to give a double honors to the apostles, the elders, Abgar and Millstone, who do well and teach well, and are the true leaders of Israel today. And I want to give a shalom to the hopeful elect, man, out there pushing and enduring in these last days, diligently, making your calling and election sure. Shalom, shalom. And again, I'm back out here, to prophesy the downfall, Babylon the Great, also known as America, right, in our time today, right? Thus say the scriptures. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35 and 1. Let's get right into it. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it. And who was Seir? Esau Edom, because that's where he was dwelling at. And say unto it, Thus saith the Lord power, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. Right, because the main judgment is going to be here in Babylon the Great, which is why you have, heavy wickedness pushed out here in Babylon the Great. Which is why when you read the book of Jeremiah, let me get this, just to kind of, further back up the point on how wicked this place is. This place alone, and what its philosophy is, teaches, which we know goes back to Satanism, because Esau Edom is that, Satan's, physical counterpart. When you read that in the book of 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, let me get that before I get this. This is why this philosophy is pushed like that. Right, the ways of America, Babylon the Great, that do as that will spirit, that's not a coincidence. The Lord has set this up from the beginning. This is the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2. And I'm going to start at verse. I'm going to get straight to the point. Yep. And 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. And the wicked is Esau Edom. When you read the scriptures, you have the sons of men, which would be, these other heathen nations. You have the sons of God, which would be, the Israelites. And then you have the sons of the wicked, which would be you Edomites. Which is why when you read the book of Genesis, there was a clear distinction between how Esau was going to be and how Jacob was going to be. Like, one was going to be stronger than the other. One was going to have, one was going to be witty, right? Jacob, also known as a supplanter. Okay? And, one was going to be stronger than the other. Who dominates these sports? Who dominates boxing? Who dominates football? Who dominates baseball? The Israelites. Right? Verse 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power, signs, and lying wonders. Just proving that point. Just backing that up. That's the spirit. I've seen Satan fall, or I've seen Lucifer fall, as lightning. And Lucifer just means light bearer. Okay? Esau Edom bears that light now, here again today, which is why he has all that knowledge. Right? That's why he's so smart. But back to the main point that I wanted to bring out about how America, Babylon the Great, they push this evil wicked ideology, because the rulers of America, Babylon the Great, right, are Edomites, and so are the Russians. Okay, they're just different a tribe of Esau. You got Amalek, you got all types. But this is Jeremiah 51 and verse 7. Salaki. Salaki. Yep, 7. Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, and her wine is her philosophies. that do as that will spirit. That, it's okay if, you're a guy and you like to dress like a girl. Right? Really anything, really Babylon pushes everything contrary to what the scriptures have to say. It's okay, to do, they just push everything that's contrary to what the scriptures have to, what the scriptures, lay out into us. Because when you read the book of Romans, let me get this before I get into that. Salakia. The law in itself is good. Right? So this is the book of Romans, chapter 7, and verse, I'm going to get straight to the point. You know what? I'm actually going to start at verse 7 because it goes into the law. So this is Romans chapter 7 and verse 7. What shall we say then? Is the law sin? God forbid. Nay, I had not known sin, but by the law, for I had not known lust, except the law had said that thou shalt not covet. But sin, taking occasion by the commandment, wrought in me all manner of concupiscence. For without the law, without the law, sin was dead. For I was alive without the law once, but when the commandment came, sin revived and I died. Verse 10, and the commandment which was ordained to life, I found to be unto death. For sin, taking occasion by commandment, deceived me, and by it slew me, which is why we're not going to be justified by the law. But if you live under the law, but when you repent, that's you coming back, that's you coming back and following the laws. Okay? And of course you can't keep every single last one of them. Brothers don't have cribs to put their wives away when they're on their cycle. Okay, brothers don't have a fresh lamb, as a firstborn, which we're not under. We're not under the sacrificial law anymore. But nonetheless, there's a lot of laws that we can't hold here in Babylon the Great. Okay, which is why we're not gonna be justified by the law. But this is verse 12. Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy, and just and good. Plain and simple. So if the law is holy, just and good, what is Esau doing? Pushing these different decrees on giving benefits to people that are living in sin and pushing forward sin. Why is he doing that? Because Esau Edom is under the banner of Satan, which is why when you read back at Ezekiel 35 and say unto it, right, to Mount Seir, thus saith the Lord power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. Babylon the Great is going to be known as a memorial in the kingdom of heaven because of how bad this place is going to get hit with them thermonuclear missiles. Which is why you have Esau Edom ready to press that button, right? And this is why you have all this tension with wars and the nations teaming up and siding with Russia. You have all these African countries going with Russia, which is biblical prophecy, which I'm gonna get real quick, and it's gonna lead first and foremost to World War III, and that's gonna be the thermonuclear missiles, man. Whether you like to believe it or not, it's prophesied and it's gonna happen. The scriptures say that my counsel shall stand. This is why you as a regular just walking around, not in that seat of making calls and all this. It's easy for you to just say, nah, like, why are we doing this? This should not be war. Let's just push peace, this and the third. It's not because of you. Before I get Ezekiel 28 and Revelations, let me get this to back that up, okay? This is the book of Proverbs. Let's back that point up, man. Drive it home. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, and verse 1. The king's heart. Who are the modern day kings? The presidents. And we know in Babylon the Great that the president is a puppy, these elites, right? And then the kings would be, Putin in the other side, right? You got, King Jong-un. These are the kings, okay? Those that are truly calling the shots, those that truly have the army under their hand. Those are the kings. The king's heart, which when you go into that word heart, it's la'ah, which just means mind. The king's mind is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. He's the one calling the shots. He's the one that's going to put it on, Putin to press that red button, man. He's the one that put the spirit on these, these African countries to line up with Russia and China. Because what? Furthermore, man, it was biblical prophecy, which I'm going to get and I'm going to prove it to you. This is Ezekiel chapter 38 and verse 1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog and the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord power, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. Right? Because nonetheless, Russia's not going to win. After this World War III happens, no one's going to win but the elect. The elect is going to be beaten up into them chariots, them UFOs. While Russia's trying to nuke America, and the Americans, they get noticed and the alarms go off and they start shooting nukes over there. China has to back up Russia, and then Puerto Rico has to back up America, and it just goes, everything just starts latching. No one's gonna win but the elect. Okay? No one's gonna win but the elect. And thus saith the Lord power, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. This is the Lord putting the spirit on Russia back into that Soviet Union type spirit. That Soviet type spirit. And I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen. These are the tanks, right? These military vehicles. The big rigs. All of them clothed with all sorts of armor, right? Because they're gonna have all horsemen, and horsemen just represents power. That's their power. He's putting the spirit on Russia to make these powerful ass weapons. You got the Satan 2 missile, right? Which can, with 2 of them, which they claim, and we know through the spirit is in league, can wipe out all of Texas. And Texas is the biggest state, if I'm not mistaken. Just to put it in perspective on how strong, the Lord have really put that spirit back on them to make these horsemen, man. Right, to have this military power. And they got a lot more than just that. All of them clothed with all sorts of armor. Even a great company with bucklers and shields. All of them handling swords. Hold on, what's going to happen? Verse 5. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them. All of them with shield and helmet. And African nations. Hamitic nations. Happening right now in real time. That should struck. That should pierce your pineal gland just a bit to put into perspective. And what did it say in Ezekiel? Right here in Ezekiel 35. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. I'm gonna go back to verse 3, Salakia. And I'm going to jump just straight to this point. And I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. The Lord's going to make you more desolate. This is the book of Revelations. Let me get this one first. Salakia. Let me get this one first. This is the book of Revelations, chapter 11. And verse 14, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. The second woe was World War II. Okay? Because the first woe was what? World War I. This is the book of should be right here, Salakia. all good. But this is the book of Revelations, chapter 18, and I'm gonna get straight to the point. In verse 8, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna go up to verse. Yeah, I'm gonna just start at verse 1, man. Lines perfectly up with Jeremiah, the 51st chapter. This is Revelation chapter 18 and Ezekiel the 35th chapter. Showing you, Salaki, just to make this point, the New Testament and the Old Testament are in league with each other. And if you want to see Yahawashi prophesy in the Old Testament, read the book of Isaiah, the 45th chapter, if I'm not mistaken. And when you read it, you understand that it's not King Solomon, because King Solomon was a king, and no one would dare to touch a king at that time. So who was that talking about? Talking about Yahawashi. Just to make that point, okay? But this is Revelation chapter 18 and verse 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened up with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen. It is fallen, and it has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. You know, America is full of, demons and unclean beings, man. Unclean spirits. Verse 3, for all nations have drunk of the wine. Did we not just read that in the book of Isaiah, Jeremiah, the 51st chapter? Yes, we did. For the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. This just means that these nations were dealing with Babylon on a philosophical kind of way, okay? Which is why, a great little example to show you with that. Why do you think these Asians, at one point they would wear those garments that were silk and had gold and all, little dragons and shit around them, and now you have them what? These elites wearing what? In that area. Salaki, I'm all studying. What are they wearing? Suits and ties. They got that from Esau Edom, and that's just to show you that's them committing fornication with America, Babylon the Great. That's what that means. That's what that entails. It's not someone cheating on anybody. Okay. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies, because America is a consumer. It's a consuming country. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. And you come out of her again, what? Philosophically. Okay, you need to get out of the ways of, Babylon the Great, the philosophies of Babylon the Great, the feminism that Babylon the Great pushes. Okay, the weirdness that Babylon the Great pushes, the lifestyle that Babylon the Great pushes. You got to get out of that. And furthermore, that starts with the elect, man. Those men that are out there in the highways and the byways in this ministry, sincerely trying to learn, study, and read, and serving the Most High to the best of their ability, man. Right, truly turning back, turning back from sin, so that we may be worthy, to be, caught up in, in the clouds with Yahawashi when the nukes get shot, man. We don't want to be down here, with the sins, condemning us, with our sins condemning us. Nah. We want to go into Jacob's trouble comfortably. Okay? And the only way to do that is by doing the works. Right? Because when you read the book of 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, it says, with thy works and faith whereby ye have believed. And okay, you're not a prophet, cool, but you still gotta, show something forward of, works. Put that pork down. Put all, go into the law. Okay? Because again, not every man is gonna be a prophet. Because the prophets, hey, there's gonna be a great multitude as well. You got those that are just believers that are gonna make it. But we just have a, higher calling. Those brothers that want to go out to the highways and the byways and, get these breakdowns down and, try to actually really get into this thing, and, your spirit, tells you, because it's nonetheless, when you read the book of, same book, Proverbs, it says, man's goings are of the ways of the Lord. How can a man that understand his own ways? This is not even of us, or of me. It wasn't even of, your brothers that, that are out there teaching now. You opened up the YouTube and you seen, brothers, you're like, what the hell is this? You stumble on it, and for some reason your mind attracted yourself to it, and you know, I want to do this. I want to learn more. I agree with everything they're saying. This is all because the Lord already had this sanction from the beginning. Okay, our lot was already set in stone. The scriptures say that that Daniel was gonna stand in his lot in the end days. When you read the book of Corinthians, the spirit of the prophets are subject unto the prophets. Right, Proverbs, man's going the other ways of the Lord. Hey, Proverbs is the 21st chapter. The king's mind is in the hand of the Lord. Hey, the book of Job. The book of Job shows you how the Lord seals your instructions. The book of Job shows you how you go to sleep, an angel comes into your bed and comes into your bed. You know, opens up your mind. It's a lock. It's not necessarily just like that, but goes into your mind, lays out what you're gonna do the next day, and bang, that's what's gonna happen. That's why, you know, you may think you have your whole next day planned out, but you know, some shit comes and interrupts it because it wasn't planned out like that. It wasn't supposed to go that way. And the Lord has other things going on. But nonetheless, you know, back to verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Because the main plague is going to be what? Them nuclear missiles. Them ICBM missiles, man. You do not want to be down here in Babylon the Great. And then you just see fucking over the mountain, you just see some fucking stars. Right? That's what it's going to look like. Some stars with a smoky tail. Glittering, knowing that, hey, that's why the scripture says that your feet are going to be like unto water in that day. Unto water means you're going to have them jiggly feet. You know, when you do leg day at the gym and you go ham and you get all weird and shit, that's how you're going to feel. And you're not going to, you know, some of you guys are going to die of heart attacks. You know, hey, those, you know, dying for looking towards the things that are to come. That's talking about the ICBM missiles. But back at verse 5, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High has remembered her iniquities. Esau, Edom, everything you have done from the get-go, from the jump, as soon as you know, right after, you know, the Byzantine Empire, and even before the Byzantine Empire, everything, but mainly the Byzantine Empire. What happened? You came out here, you know, you took over, you took over, you know, Southern Kingdom. But before that, what happened? Or so like after that, what happened? You came straight to, the Americas, knew where the northern tribes were, and you brought diseases with you. You brought, you know, rape, you know, and cruel, unlawful slavery. Because there's slavery in the Bible, but when you read the slavery in the Bible, it's a whole different kind of slavery. It's like servitude work. Okay, like the Irish. A lot of the Irish like to say that we were slaves too, and this and that. No, you guys were doing servitude kind of work. Okay, we had unlawful slavery, right? Our women, you know, getting popped. You know, they're all types. You know, our kids getting used as bait, alligator bait. You know, they brought towels, you know, to the Native Americans that were, you know, full of diseases. Wiped out a ton of them. Okay, that's what Esau, Edom, you know, Most High remembered. And that's just that little shit that I just mentioned right there. That is nothing compared to Esau, Edom's true track record, man. Because ain't no telling what he was even doing before that. You know. Okay. The Most High has remembered your iniquities, man. Verse 6. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works, in the cup which she hath filled to her double. Man, this kind of judgment that's getting ready to happen, which you people know as shit hitting the fan, which is known as Jacob's trouble in the scriptures, but here in the world is known as shit hitting the fan. Right? You have SHTF preppers, you know, that's in the scriptures known as Jacob's trouble. And this kind of judgment is going to be like no type of judgment ever before. All the way down to the nuclear missiles, man. It's just going to be all hell breaking loose here, all the way around. Except for the elect, man, the hopeful members, man. You brothers that are out there doing the work, sincerely believing, you know, sincerely having faith, showing charity, and doing what's needed of you to do to become that true man of Yahawashi and Yahawashi. Okay? You know, you guys are going to have a reward, man. It's hard, you know, it's hard. It's hard. No one ever said this walk was gonna be easy. You come into this ministry and you see, your coworkers, they're having a blast. They're doing this and the third, and then your flesh kicks in. Damn, I want to do this. I want to do that. But nonetheless, you stand strong and you stand firm, and they don't overtake you. You just keep pushing. You keep on doing your thing. These are our proving grounds, man. So when shit hits the fan and shit cracks, we're gonna feel so good that we didn't do none of that, because all that is what. All that is quick pleasures. What did Esau Edom do? He sold his birthright for a quick pleasure. Because his ass was hungry. He couldn't even fast for a little bit. He wasn't going to die. He could just put, he was going to be good. But nonetheless, that's what that is. And if you're under the spirit of Esau Edom, you just like quick pleasures, doing things right away. You just like to sin right away. You just can't put certain things down. Your flesh is constantly winning. That's why I like to always quote that lesson, man. Let the spirit win sometimes. You're constantly letting the flesh win. That's what's going to happen. The Lord is going to take you out. The scriptures say that wisdom cannot dwell in a malicious soul. And how are we going to make it through Jacob's trouble in these times? Through wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures. And when you think about it, all that together is wisdom in itself. To be wise. How you gonna? This is why brothers in this ministry, they move. GMS, as I would like to say. I'm not a part of the GMS officially, but I do follow the decrees, the exact same doctrine, man, and to the best of my ability. Nonetheless, and I believe there's a true man of Yahawashi. You can see a whole different spirit with them when it comes to looking at these different camps, because before you even come to this camp, or the Lord opens your pineal gland to be able to receive that. You understand, you come through a rabbit hole. Damn, call out Yahawashi, beautiful thunder, man. But you go down a rabbit hole. You stumble on you first wake up. Perfect example, my little testimony started with IUIC. Cool. Then I went to WFI. Though I was just watching them back and forth. Then I went to IUIC. Then I was watching GMS. Now you had me watching all types of ABC kind of camps, just all over the place. And I stumbled on, I was getting ready. I was emailing the Sakari camp. I'm like, hey, I want to start up my own thing down here. Like, what's going on? Like, how can I get in touch? How can I learn more? Where I need to be at? And next thing you know, Elder Manata Zaba, I'm on one of his camp sessions. He's mentioning that, hey, you brothers cannot be out there just watching all types of camps. And I didn't know that at first, because I was a babe, man. When you're a babe, you're just crawling all over the place. You can fall off a bed, right? But the Lord is gonna keep his elect from not being sifted, right? But nonetheless, I heard that. I'm like, oh damn, all right. So it made sense to me how these people teach this, these people teach that, and I was going all over. I was watching debates. I was really in this thing, going crazy. And then till where the point had it to where the Lord had it to where, yeah, these are the true men of Yahawashi right here, man. The elders at Great Millstone, bro. That's where you're gonna hear, prophecy. That's where you're gonna hear breakdowns. That's where you're gonna hear true counsel. That's where you're gonna hear true understanding, wisdom come out. You sometimes you're feeling some type of way, or you're not even on the spirit that heavy that day, and you just click on a random ass GMS video, and he mentions everything how you feeling that day and what you need to do when this shit's happening, right? He bringing out precepts to comfort you. You didn't even know, cause hey, the Lord is working through those men, bro. Those men, Salaki, through faith. And it's Salaki for my rambling, man. But back at verse 6, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, in the cup which she hath filled to her double. Yeah. Get ready for shit hitting the fan. Get ready for the shit to crack. Because it's going to be like no time ever before. And this is mainly talking about, this is mainly talking about them ICBMs. But nonetheless, before them ICBMs, even decide to touch the ground, all hell is going to be breaking loose out here, man. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30 and verse 7. I'm just get straight to the point. At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Who is at the elect? Only the elect is gonna make it, man. This is why a lot of this is why you have so many people. You try to tell them, man, hey, The C hip is, the mark in Revelation 13 and 16. And for some reason they can't grasp it because they're not part of the elect. The scriptures say the elect have attained it and the rest were blinded. So you brothers that are able to receive the charagma, able to receive these breakdowns, able to receive the, the understanding, of what the scriptures truly entail, right? You're not getting caught up with all these, you got the, all these different, philosophies that are pushed out here when it comes to Israel. You got the BOIs, you have the black only Israelites, you have the Latin only Israel tribes. I remember when that happened. You have the Mamzer doctrine, all these, wayward doctrines. The reason you brothers have, this doctrine of, great millstone, right? Because we believe that Yahawashi is working through those men, starting from Tahar on down, right? The elders, all the elders of great millstone. They, starting with them, we believe that they have the true doctrine when it comes to the scriptures, because the scriptures tell you need to watch out for what you speak. You need to watch out what you teach and what you speak of. Because if I'm teaching the wrong thing, that's blood upon my hands. If you're teaching the wrong things, that's blood upon your hands. You're telling people that you have to be, both of your parents have to be so-called Negroes to make it into the kingdom of heaven. That's you putting blood inside your hands. You're telling people that you have to have some type of melanin in order to make it into the kingdom. That's putting blood upon your hands. You're telling people that, hey, the little RFID, little C hip that's gonna come to fruition when this dollar goes zero, and you're gonna need to be able to buy or sell with that thing. If you take it, you're gonna that's your ass. You have a nuke, but you're telling them you don't. That you're good. You can take it. That's you having blood on your hands, and we don't want that. Read the book of Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, Salakia. Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter, on what's gonna happen to y'all, man. We don't want that. Let me also get this before I even get that. Yep. Let me also get this. I think it was 27, 25. Let me see. This is Jeremiah chapter 25 and verse 4. And the Lord has sent unto you all his servants, the prophets, rising early and sending them, but ye have not hearkened, nor inclined your ear to hear. They said, turn ye again, now everyone from his evil way, and from the evil of your doings, and dwell in the land that the Lord hath given you, and to your fathers forever and ever, and go not after the gods to serve them, and to worship them, and to provoke me to anger with the works of your hands, and I will do you no hurt. Yet ye have not hearkened unto me, saith the Lord. How are you not hearkening unto the Lord? By not hearkening unto his prophets. That ye might provoke me to anger with your works and with your hands to your own hurt. This is why Jake gets judged. Okay. Let me see it. Pictures, verse chapter 27. Con. Yeah, man. It's all good. But nonetheless, this was going to happen if you don't hearken to the prophets, man. The true prophets of Yahawashi. And as you see, the Lord speaks through his men. And we, as you know, we got to figure out who those men are. Right? And we're here to guide you, right? My sheep hear my voice. Right? Feed my sheep. We're here to feed you. And with that feeding, we're here to guide you to who the true men are. You may like the way Sakari teaches, but it's flawed. You may like the way IUIC teaches, but it's flawed. You may like how a BOI, Black Only Israelite camp teaches, but it's flawed. The Lord has given us everything in order to receive salvation. He didn't just leave us out here, confused. There's a little bit of truth over here, there's a little bit of truth over there, and there's a little bit of truth. No. That's not how the Lord works. The scripture says the Lord is not the author of confusion. Okay? And that's plain and simple. That's plain and simple, man. But verse 7, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously. America, Babylon the Great, man. At one point, you're paying 25 cents for a gallon of gas. Okay, at one point, you're able to buy a house for, the dollar power at one point was heavy, strong. So much torment, but wait. So much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, her mind, I sit a queen, I am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. That's Babylon the Great to a T. I'm actually in a town. It's a fort town. And you had, a lot of military dudes walking around, and they look prideful. And, you can just tell that they really think they're going to be able to take over Russia. They're going to be able to win this World War III. They're going to be able to, make it out. Nah, man, you ain't making it. You ain't making it. Thus saith the scriptures. Because Babylon the Great, mystery Babylon the Great, is America. Whether you like to believe it or not, man. And you're going to see. You're going to see when shit hits the fan and shit actually goes crazy over here in Babylon the Great. You're having upwards all across the world right now. And if I'm not mistaken, there was just a riot here again. These are signs of the times. But America, Babylon the Great is going to be that big one. Right, that main one, where main judgment is going to be sent out. Verse 8, therefore shall her plagues come in one day. Oh, death, mourning, and famine. And she shall be utterly burned with fire. As you see, it starts with the first, Jacob's trouble. But the Lord's going to top off Jacob's trouble with the nuclear missiles. For strong is the Lord who judgeth her. When you read the book of 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, says, for strong is the right hand that bendeth the bow. As you see, it has the same kind of talk, right? Because that bow, what it's going to do, when it lands across the ends of the earth, is going to cause fire. And what is that fire going to do? Let's get this. This is 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 12. Looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. We need this kingdom to go down. We need the rulership. We need the rulership to change. We need Esau Edom to get out of power. We need the Lord to set us up so that the new heavens and the new earth can be set. And when you go into that word new, it just goes into refreshed. Okay? And what's going to be refreshed? The planet, the whole earth, man. Not just America, the whole earth. Once we're set up as rulership, once the laws are, coming forth from, the Holy Land in Jerusalem, not those fake dudes that are there today, not those fake little, the little black hatters there today. No, the true man, the true Israelites, and mainly the elect. When we're set up out there, and we're gonna refresh this whole earth, man. Even unto our people, but our people are gone too, man. 2/3, man, they gone too. We're gonna refresh their minds. And right now, they don't see the benefits of these laws being pushed forward. That's the thing. That's the big thing. And I actually have a TikTok video that I was gonna post. It was just kind of, I can mention it right now. There's one specific parasite that is in pork that attacks your brain and looks all nasty and shit. But it's not in beef. It's not in chicken. Just to go to show you, man, hey, that's why when I read the book of Romans, the 7th chapter, the law is holy, it is good, right? And it is good. This whole earth is going to be back in its own state, man. The planet Earth is going to rejoice. The plants, the animals. Animals are going extinct every single minute. But when we're in rulership, there's going to be no such thing as extinction, bro. The only thing that's going to be extinct is Esau Edom. After 1,000 years, man. But verse 9, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her. Like, damn, they're going to be looking, they're going to be able to see it's going to be nighttime in some far place in the jungle, and you're just going to see a little sun in the distance. The fuck is that? And it's going to be America just getting rained on by nukes. right? Them Satan 2 missiles. Because them Satan 2 missiles, the reason it says 200,000 missiles is because one of those missiles, one of those silos, holds like up to, I think, 6, 7 missiles around there. So that's all of them including together. And what they do when it shoots up the missile and it starts going down, it gets into the space area, it opens up, and then the missiles, the targets, they all scatter out, and they're gonna hit. When you read the book of Joel, the 2nd chapter, they're gonna land to their designated spot. They're not gonna be crashing into one another. Esau Edom's not gonna be intercepting any of these missiles. No, they're all gonna land their spots. I remember a documentary a couple years back when I used to be because when I was young, I used to even be into aliens, UFOs, and what they were, because I used to see them as kids. When I was a kid, I used to see them a lot, and I used to wonder, like, bro, what is that? Like, what are those? But nonetheless, I remember this documentary I used to watch. You could probably still find it on YouTube. During World War II, Esau Edom was getting ready to press that button to drop a nuke somewhere out there. But they said that they encountered a UFO and it started messing around with all the technology in there, and it didn't let the silos go through. Because, hey, everything, the scriptures, everything has to be played out first, man. Okay? See, showing you, man, no, Esau Edom ain't doing nothing. These people, no one out here is just doing shit on themselves. No one out here just doing it. The Lord is in control of every last thing. But is that to say you're gonna chill and just relax? No, man, you gotta, put your best foot forward, man. Study, do your thing, bro. You're not just gonna sleep and the Lord's gonna be dragging you all over the place. Nah. Okay. But verse 9, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, at last, damn, that shit. For that great city, Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Damn, that shit actually, America actually got taken down. What the hell? What the fuck? That's how they're gonna be. And this is how you know this is not talking about Babylon. I mean, everybody knows that. The scholar can tell you this is not. But those that are new when it comes to kind of Bible talk, you can tell it's a prophecy, because when you read the scriptures, Babylon, actual Babylon, right? The original, the first Babylon, right? The one that Nebuchadnezzar was actually ruling in, it got taken over by the Persians. Okay, showing you, by the Persians and by the Medes and then the Persians. Okay, showing you that this is talking about a different Babylon that's gonna have the characteristics to the first beast, which is what? Rome. You can read that in the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter. And what is that? It's gonna have characteristics of that beast. What looks like Rome today? When you go to the White House, when you go to New York, when you go into when you look at and it's gonna have Egyptian tendencies, Assyrian tendencies, Babylonian tendencies, Greek tendencies. It's gonna have all these nations together, man. All these type. Who has that? The land of the free, the land where you can follow any religion and do anything you want. This place. This is modern day Rome. Look at the way that it's designed. Even the architecture of America is the same as Rome. Okay? Even the architecture. But let me get the book of Joel, the 2nd chapter, because what's happening is war is trending, and the only reason it's trending is because it's prophecy. Okay? It's because it's prophecy. And how do you know it's trending? On August, sometime around this month, they said they're getting ready to do military drills on the whole country. That's what they said. But you know how Esau be saying shit and it'll be happening. But nonetheless, showing you where their mindset is at, though. We gotta do this. We gotta get ready for this. That, and the third. We gotta do military drills here, military this, military that, this, that, and the third. Why? Because he knows that war is inevitable. The prophets, he knows who we are. The scripture says that great fear fell upon them, when they seen us standing on our feet, man. Because Esau, these elites, man, you 2/3 Jakes and you regular ass people that just walk around, you don't know the importance of the prophets, man. You don't know how scared even our own people back then, when they did know, how scary it was when the Lord would lift the prophets. Because for the most part, it was to condemn a place. And Esau, Edom, the elites of this place, man, those that actually have historical records, those actually have, books and things of, that we had, and actually have, how you people like to say, evidence. This is why they're moving quick with what they got to do, because they know the importance of us out here on the highways and the byways, standing up, man, preaching the downfall of America, Babylon the Great, being able to break down these scriptures, letting you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American know who you are. Hey, we're out here doing the true works of Yahawashi, man. In this camp, our brother, this camp session alone, and other brothers, of course, you have heard more scriptures than any other church you've ever been to in your life. Yeah, but you probably didn't even know what Joel, the first chapter, was. Probably didn't even know there's a book of Joel called even in there. Didn't even know that the Apocrypha actually existed in there. But this is the book of Jeremiah. I'm probably gonna close out here in a bit, man. Gotta get back to where I'm working at. But this is Jeremiah chapter 28 and verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesy both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. You see, the prophets that have been before thee of old, they've been doing the same thing that we're here doing again today. We're here to bring it out, man. Let you people know the truth. The truth shall set thee free. And how does it set you free? To the point where you're going to be able to be a pilgrim in Jacob's trouble. To the point where you're going to be able to be a pilgrim in Jacob's trouble and still have a good consciousness. To the point where you're going to be in Jacob's trouble, hearing all types of hell breaking loose, seeing all types of dead bodies and all types of shit just going on, and the Lord still has it to where you feel good. You're in a good state of mind. That's what the truth is setting. This is what the truth means, man. Setting you free. Also, the lies of Esau, Edom, that the dust, right? The dust that Babylon the Great has, right? There are people, are stuck in that dust. That just means they're confused about all types of shit. They don't know what the Lord actually entails. They think the Bible is all, fairy tales and, weird shit, fake stories and this, that, and the third. Nah, man. When you read the scriptures, this was going to be able to give you that comfort. Hey, I have the scriptures talk about how when the Lord was going to go up, he shall come down and give us a comforter. And what's that comforter? The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of these scriptures. Which is why we're going to be able to go into Jacob's trouble, kicking it. Why? Because we truly believe in this thing, man. We're proving it. We're proving it. And, brothers, we got to get ready to lose our jobs. We got to get ready to lose our homes. Wherever, you got to get ready to lose your family members, loved ones. You got to get ready to put all this shit away, bro. You got to get ready to put all this shit in the back of your mind. Because this is what's going to come down to. This final test, this charagma, this C-hip, this little device that's going to go into your hand right here. This is what's really going to show you who you are. What kind of man are you? Were you truly in this thing? Did you truly believe? Man, hey, this is what's going to truly prove ourselves, man. But I don't want to make this too long, man. I don't want to desire this camp session was edifying. I want to turn to the east and close out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to our power. Yahweh, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders at Great Millstone, who do rule well and teach well and are the true leaders of Israel today. Shalom to the hopeful elect, man. You Akim that are out there in the highways and the byways, pushing this truth with with all truth and sincerity, making your calling and election sure with all diligence, man. You few sisters that do believe on the words of Yahawashi Yahawashi, that do believe on the names of Yahawashi Yahawashi, and are trying your best, to fight your flesh, man. Because the scriptures say that you're the weaker vessel. You can see. I mean, I would expect a woman to want a man to lead, regardless, showing you that you are the weaker vessel, showing you that the scriptures are more realer than ever. But with that, shalom wa abad ball, man. Shalom.